Guys, I was going through this project description and trying to understand my leadership style, and then I realized I am a tree. More specifically, a tree trunk. Now you might be wondering, leadership and trees, what is this guy talking about? Well, let me explain. As an engineer, I'm expected to attend a lot of leadership workshops simply because engineering leadership is a very trending topic. And in many of those workshops that I've attended, there were so many surveys where I have to try and understand my leadership style. The surveys assess my leadership style. In all of those surveys, the answer has been more or less the same. I have a coaching leadership style or a driving leadership style. Now, what this essentially means is that in a coaching leadership style, the core feature is that this person who is following the style will have one-on-one interactions with his team members or his executive team in order to understand how well they can work with other people or how well they can perform their tasks. This particular leadership style nurtures the unique abilities of each of the members by using the leader's roots of knowledge in order to help them bear fruit in the project that they're doing and to sow the seeds of success. Now, this leadership style, at least for me, is extremely sociable and comfortable to use. I find this very easy to use, and I'm pretty sure if there are other coaching leaders over here will find it easy as well, is because of the linear relationships that you have with your teammates. By linear relationship, I mean that when you're a coaching leader, you have to talk to each and every team member, understand their best abilities, and see how they can work best. You don't care about the relationships that are happening within each team member. You just need to know about you and your member and how they're doing, another member, how they're doing. You need to essentially build a rapport with each of the members. I discovered that I have this type of leadership style over 20 months ago, where I was introduced to one of my first engineering projects. In these 20 months, I've led so many projects and I've had leadership positions as an exec in Toastmasters and many other places. And I found that this particular leadership style, even though it's very easy to perform and easy to conduct, it has a few limitations. I'll be talking about two of these limitations and how I found a solution to it, in fact, with respect to Toastmasters. Let's talk about the first limitation. The first limitation is the fact that the branches of your trees, if you consider the branches as your team members, they do not meet. In my very first project, after I got to know about this leadership style, I was introduced to a team of 4 other people in my discipline, and it turned out that they never talked. They literally did not say words more than necessary. I was big on bonding with team members, like everyone knowing each other and working with each other. But when I sat down, first time meeting them in a round table, they just said, "Hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm in this discipline. I'm excited to work with you." With this face, I'm excited to work. And it was very weird because the project that I worked before this team, we were really active. We were talking to everyone and we had a lot of fun times, and that's why I was really big on bonding. It never happened, so it turned out that I had to assume the position of the leader because that team needed a spokesperson, if you will. And because that team needed a spokesperson, the best way I knew how to lead a team without any prior experience is to talk with each person and understand how they can do their tasks. Okay, you did this task, great, everything's good. The project was getting to an end, and I realized that everyone was doing the task. This style was working pretty well, but the branches never met. The team members did not talk amongst each other So every time a major decision was made in this project, it would always be of only one perspective, that is my perspective. And there were a few wrong decisions, and we could not reach our goal of getting an A on the course. The second limitation that I would like to talk about is the fact that the rings of the trunk take some time to grow. 1 year later, I was assigned to a project where the team was much better. In the sense, they were much more active, we knew each other going in, and we were already like, we should get this project set, we need to get going and get that A. We had that team, we even had like #NoFilter rules where we would call out anyone making a mistake so that we do not blame each other towards the end. Everything's great, right? What could go wrong? The issue was that when I was leading that team, everything was great for the first few months, but then towards the end, one person fell behind. What happened was, since we already assumed that we knew each other very well, we used to have this no filter rule, everything was going great, I did not assess the unique abilities of each of these members. I did not give it time for us to understand what each of us can do and use each other the best way to get the best mark on the project. And it happened so this one person was left behind and did not contribute too much to the project towards the end. And that was a bit difficult to take in, simply because we started out really well, we thought we were enjoying, but then towards the end it created tensions that we did not want to be. So from these two particular experiences, I learned a lot, and I started and tried to apply it to becoming a president of Toastmasters. So let's solve the first problem that I had. The branches do not meet. What I did before becoming president is I made sure I knew exactly what each role was going to do, each and every exec. Since the roles were defined, I created a mind map for myself and made sure to find the relationships between each role and see the best way to create collaborations within the team. The second thing, the rings of the trunks take time to grow. I made sure to meet each and every member one-on-one before the term started and assess their skills. For example, I talked to Yusuf and I saw that he was really passionate about mentoring people, talking to people about their speeches and how they can improve their speeches. So we just ended up creating a new role, an unofficial role called coach, and he's the coach of our club. So these are a few solutions that I found to the problems that I had before. With that, I would like to encourage all of you, regardless of your leadership roles, if you encounter these problems, maybe apply the solution, and maybe you'll be satiated with the role you play in the members'